Top 3. Best 4K camcorders. Number 3. Panasonic HCX-1 4K Ultra HD. Before we jump into the review, we wanted to touch on a few thoughts on the form factor of the HCX-1. It's a camcorder. If you are used to the capabilities of an interchangeable lens camera, then a camcorder might not offer the depth of field possibilities you want or require. However, having the functionality of a camcorder can be refreshing or even downright necessary for some. After all, who doesn't like having buttons and knobs instead of scroll wheels and menu execution? The camcorder has a tried and true form factor that has worked well for a long time. The HCX-1 doesn't have a huge sensor, but it's not tiny either. Its 1-inch MOS sensor is very typical for a camcorder. It's also a very common size for fixed lens cameras in general. Looking outside of the HCX-1's form factor, there are the Sony RX10 III and the Canon XC10 that also share the same sensor size along with many other cameras. After the 1/3 inch sensors of the CCD era, 1-inch sensors have fallen into the same status as a standard that 3 1/3 inch CCD chips once held. Size aside, the picture and color reproduction is very nice. Number 2. Sony 4K HD Video Recording FDR-AX33. The period of time that camcorders dominated the consumer market for video recording devices has long gone. Now if you go to any tourist attraction all over the world, you can see that they are using iPhones, Samsung Galaxy phones, and even tablets to take pictures and record videos. Obviously people are less interested in those bulky camcorders and they'd rather use their smartphones instead because they can easily put their phones in pockets. Recent phones like Samsung Galaxy Note 4 or LG G4 even have 4K video recording capability, so most consumers are happy with their mobile devices. I was among them, and honestly I hadn't used any camcorder in my life. Actually I checked out some of them, but they couldn't convince me to buy an extra video recorder apart from my smartphone and DSLR. Sony FDR-AX33 4K Handycam camcorder review. The only camcorder you should buy updated on Feb 29, 2016 by 2 and though the period of time that camcorders dominated the consumer market for video recording devices has long gone. Now if you go to any tourist attraction all over the world, you can see that they are using iPhones. Number 1. Panasonic 4K HCX 1020X. While not as extensible as something like the Sony A7s, the HCX 1000 sticks with a tried and true form factor that has proven functional for decades. Furthermore, it houses an incredible amount of power, combining dual Venus processing engines, a 3-inch MOS sensor, and a 20x Leica branded lens, all designed to provide excellent video at resolutions up to 4K 60p. What's more, the X1000 includes all of this with a full suite of pro-ready controls at a very reasonable price. Panasonic's done this by deftly cutting costs everywhere possible. Though this looks more like a professional device than it actually is, the result is a camcorder that will suit a wide variety of needs at a price point well suited to even budget-conscious videographers. If you've ever used an N camera or an old Minid camera, then the X1000 should feel instantly familiar. Though it's smaller than shoulder-mounted models, it has a similar form factor with a large rectangular body, a decently sized, non-removable, top-mounted grip, a hand strap, and a lens barrel long enough to fit multiple manual control rings. As with most cameras of this ilk, you've got a wide selection of ports and manual controls on the sides, including.
Check out the description for more information in latest price.